Hey everybody, what's going on? Fabian Vargas from the F&P Vargas Real Estate Team. So the past couple of weeks I've been on a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. I do a lot on LinkedIn. I have my resume on a couple of places like Indeed and Monster and all that good stuff. I update it frequently just in case because people reach out to me and I do business with real estate that way, especially on LinkedIn. But I've been coming across recruiters lately. I guess the job market is picking up, so recruiters have been reaching out to me. They like my resume, they like my profile, asking me if I'm currently looking for employment, telling me what they have to offer. I've been, especially when I'm out there and I meet a lot of people and stuff like that. And this video is more for my entrepreneur friends and maybe people that are getting higher in their career, even if you're working corporate. People have been, telling me that I'm pretty much deemed unemployable, which is interesting because I didn't think anybody would be deemed unemployable. I guess because I haven't been really in the job market for a while, and now that I've been talking to people, I always have my options open because I'm always looking for opportunities. But considering that I've been self-employed for the past 3 years, and I'm going on my 5th business right now, trying to grow it and scale it. You would think that with the amount of knowledge that I have and how much I've learned over the last few years that I actually could bring value to a company. So it was interesting when people tell me that, once they start digging into my background and start talking to me, they actually say that they can't help me or there's nothing for me. Not everybody knows unless you looked at my resume, but my resume consists of, I have a Bachelor of Science, I went to university. I actually studied 2 majors. One is criminal justice administration, and then I went ahead and took more classes on management. So my degree is not in police science like a lot of, because I was used to be in law enforcement. It's more criminal justice on the management side. So I took a lot of classes and got my degree on writing grants, running a law enforcement agency, having employees, basically like any other management degree would have, except that it was more focused on criminal justice. I was in law enforcement for a long time. I've been a firearms instructor, I've been a canine instructor, I've been a range safety officer, and this was back when I was in law enforcement and security. I had my own security company with a friend of mine. I was head of security for about 6-7 years. And altogether, we had about 15 nightclubs, Brooklyn, Queens, and in New York and Manhattan. And me, myself, I had 7 of them at one time, just by myself. I was head of security, and of course, I had about anywhere from 30 to 50 bouncers, depending on events, depending on, during the week as well, because Tuesdays, usually Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, if the nightclubs were open, it was pretty slow, so I didn't have to have a full crew. But Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, and during parties and events, it was almost up to 60 bouncers that I had to manage throughout 7 nightclubs. And I went as far as even becoming an assistant general manager for a couple of those nightclubs. So I have a lot of experience. And considering that the last 3 years, we're going on out. Well, I had 2 prior in New York, obviously the security company. I had some concession trailers up there in New York. And here we had our shaved ice business. And Pam and I had a retail business, and now we're trying to grow a real estate portfolio, and eventually opening up our own real estate company. Considering I have a bachelor's degree, I studied 2 majors, I have a minor in psychology. My degree pretty much, I think if I added all my credits, I think I would just need a couple of classes and to write a thesis, and I'll be eligible to obtain my master's degree. That's how far in advance I got and how many credits I got. And then the knowledge that I've attained from having businesses, and honestly, I'm going to be honest with you guys, and I know a lot of people probably would agree with me. I've gained more knowledge, and I call it street knowledge. I gained more street knowledge trying to build businesses and reading books and just taking seminars and courses and everything outside than the 4.5 years I stood in the university to obtain my bachelor's degree. I learned more knowledge in the journey of entrepreneurship than I did the 4.5 years of me being in the university, by far. By far. And it's amazing that with all the knowledge I have, you would think that I would be able to bring value to a company. and be able to hold a management position or maybe some sort of alphabet, like, you know, in finance or even up there like a CFO or something like that for a company. And instead, I'm deemed unemployable, which is interesting. I don't know if anybody is having that problem or has had that problem, but it's got me thinking a lot about exactly how do you become unemployable? Like, how could the corporate world categorize me as unemployable? So you're pretty much, even though, yes, you know, I'm in the path to build a business and a large scalable business, but it's almost like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You know, it's you. They want you. You know, people want you to build your mind, become knowledgeable, expand your mind, become educated, and then you come to a point where you can't even scale yourself anymore as far as in the corporate world. You know, I guess it's just the political part of it. You know, I never really cared for the corporate world because I'm not one to be under somebody, because I know might be a reason, because I know that most likely I could do their job with my eyes closed, or I'm better qualified, or I'm more knowledgeable, and I'm always hungry for titles, if that makes sense. You know how people are very competitive? I'm a very competitive person. You know, like I said, I'm from New York. I was a cop, and I'm very aggressive when it comes to that. You know, when it comes to, you know, the times that I have had a 9 to 5, I've always competed with titles. I've always wanted to be better than the next person. I've always wanted to be better than my boss. I always looked at the CEOs and the owners. I'm like, I want to be in your shoes. So I'm gonna make it my best to try to get to there, and I'm gonna eat anybody alive that stands in my way, and whoever is standing between me and the top, I'm just gonna eat you alive. If you don't like it, get the hell out of my way. Just go. But that's always how I've been. Even with business now, I'm like that. I mean, I'll eat anybody alive that I need to. But it's just interesting that at this point in my life and at this point of where I am, I'm almost in a pit. Even if I wanted to go into a 9 to 5, like, my resume is not even looked at because I'm overqualified. I'm too good for the job. There's no positions for me. I'm too knowledgeable. I mean, I've heard so many things the past couple of weeks that it's amazing. I actually went out and was like, you know what, I want to see exactly what people are going to tell me. So I even shot my resume to some titles, and that's all I got back was, no, you're way too overqualified. You can't. We don't have any positions available for you. So it's almost like I'm being, you know, people like me, and I don't know, like I said, you guys, I don't know if you guys are going through the same thing or have gone through the same thing. It's almost like we're being pushed into creating our own world, into creating our own business, because who we're going to work for. So we're forced to work for ourselves and create our own business. So it was a little bit of an emotional ride there for a second because I didn't understand it. But I've come to the conclusion that this is the path that's meant for me, because even if I wanted to go back to a 9 to 5, I can't. Nobody wants to hire me, considering that I'm educated, considering I have all this knowledge, all this training, all this experience, and yet I can't even be employed. I mean, it's mind-blowing. It really is. But please, if anybody has gone through it or is going through it right now, I assure you, it's happening for a reason. And I got to say that, to me, it's not negative. It just goes to show me that I am going in the right path. I am going in the right direction, and I just got to push. You know, I just got to keep pushing forward. So my advice, and I hope, you know, somebody can relate to this video and what I'm telling you. You're not alone. If you're going through it, you're not alone, because I'm going through it. So keep pushing forward. You're on the right path. Keep your journey. Keep your head up. Keep positive. Everything happens for a reason. Don't forget, whatever you're going through today, whether it's negative, positive, whether you're in your last straw, you got your last nickel in your pocket, you don't even know if you have a place to live tomorrow. Just remember, stay positive, because whatever you're going through today is preparing you for tomorrow. And don't ever forget that. All right, guys, take care.